You're watching Good Morning Suncoast at 6.
A quick fix for Lido Beach erosion is on the way. We'll tell you about a short-term project before they dredge near Siesta Key.
And a new complaint has been filed against City Auditor and Clerk Pamela Nadolini. We'll take a look at how city commissioners are planning to investigate.
And Supreme Showdown, the latest on his accusations against Judge Brett Kavanaugh. Good Morning Suncoast starts right now. Good morning, folks. September 18th, 6 o'clock now. I'm Ray Collins.
And I'm Stephanie Webb. Thanks for waking up with us on this Tuesday morning. Back with us today is the one and only John Scalzi. We missed you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I enjoyed putting on the alarm clock last night, too. I tell you. It's good to see you guys again. We're looking at a few scattered showers out in Gulf waters. Those showers are really not going to bother us this morning. They stay out in the Gulf. We have a quiet morning commute weather-wise, but on the trip home, maybe a few scattered showers building inland will drift back to the coastline, but the timing will be very late in the day. A mix of sun and clouds to start off the day, taking our temperatures quickly into the 80s and eventually topping them out in the low 90s. We'll see about a 30% chance of an afternoon storm or two. Back to you.
All right, talk to you soon, John. Let's check the roads right now. Pretty quiet so far at University and 75. Our live camera out there right now monitoring traffic, not too far from the mall at University Town Center. Some traffic developing there on University in both directions. We'll check back on that camera in about 15 minutes. First, here's the maps. Manatee County showing all clear so far. That's a good sign. Farther south, let's find out how it looks in the northern half of Sarasota County. Nothing to report so far. And then our South County map will show all clear at 6:01. Judge Brett Kavanaugh will soon hear from his accuser. Next week, Kavanaugh will testify about assault allegations from 35 years ago. And the woman accusing Kavanaugh will also appear before that panel. Reporter John Lawrence has our preview.
Judge Brett Kavanaugh will soon have to face questions about his past. The Supreme Court nominee will testify to a Senate panel Monday about an alleged assault from the early 1980s. His vote for the High Court was originally scheduled for Thursday.
We want to go through a process. We want to make sure everything is perfect, everything is just right.
This will probably shock the White House, but I agree with President Trump when he said a delay is not going to hurt anything. We should have a delay, get all the facts.
Kavanaugh's accuser, Professor Christine Blasey Ford, is also set to testify.
She knew that she was going to be, her allegations were going to be outed, and that, in fact, is what occurred, and as a result, she decided to take control of this and tell this in her own voice.
Ford says Kavanaugh assaulted her while the two were in high school, saying he pinned her down and tried to undress her. Kavanaugh denies the allegations.
For too long, women have made serious allegations of abuse and have been ignored or dragged through the mud. It would be a disgrace if this body and our fellow Republicans let that happen.
An accusation of 36-year-old misconduct dating back to high school has been brought forward at the last minute in an irregular manner.
I'm John Lawrence reporting.
New this morning, Julie Chen is officially leaving the talk at CBS. Chen will appear one last time in a videotape message that's set to air on the show today. Now, that message reportedly will address her decision to leave the talk show. Now, this departure comes after she took some time off to be with her husband, Les Moonves, who just stepped down as chairman of CBS after multiple sexual misconduct allegations. Now, on last week's Big Brother episode, Chen ended the show publicly supporting her husband, who denies those allegations. She also will continue to host that show, even signing off last week's episode with Julie Chen Moonves for the first time, which reportedly sparked some anger with network executives.
This morning, one of the divers who helped rescue that youth soccer team from a cave in Thailand is suing Elon Musk for defamation. The Tesla CEO called Vernon Unsworth a pedophile on Twitter, among other things, but he never offered evidence for those accusations. Now, Unsworth is seeking compensation in the U.S., in addition to a lawsuit he plans to file in the UK. For the latest on this developing story, breaking news, and the First Alert forecast, check out our app under WWSB or My Suncoast.
Well, neighbors and witnesses to that fatal crash on State Road 64 that killed 2 Lakewood Ranch high school students are upset. This morning, they are demanding safety improvements to the intersection they say was deadly long before the 2 teens lost their lives. 17-year-old Chase Conyer and 15-year-old Matthew Powers were killed after Florida Highway Patrol says Conyer turned onto Pope Road directly into the path of an oncoming truck. Now, both people in that truck were thrown from the vehicle. A 12-year-old girl still remains in critical condition. Witnesses say there was no way for Conyer to see the oncoming traffic as he tried to turn left onto Pope Road.
If you're in that turning lane, even if you're the first car, if there's cars in the other turning lane headed north, you cannot see oncoming traffic.
Now, FDOT says a white median was installed to help with some of the traffic flow. They say before the median, there were 19 crashes, and in the 6 months since it's been in place, there's only been 5. They also plan to build a roundabout at that spot in the next few years.
A short-term fix to Lido Beach erosion is now on the fast track. Last night, Sarasota City Commissioners approved a $4 million project that would serve as a temporary fix to the eroding shoreline as soon as November. 185,000 cubic yards of sand will be taken from New Pass near Longboat Key and added to the Lido Key shoreline. It'll take about 90 days for the contractor to line the entire shoreline with several feet of sand, with a start date scheduled again for November. Funding-wise, the money will come from the city budget along with some county dollars and money from FEMA as well.
City commissioners have also decided to hire a private investigator to look into claims that city auditor and clerk Pamela Natalini has harassed and verbally abused her employees. The city voted unanimously to spend $30,000 on this investigation. In the meantime, a formal complaint has been filed with the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission, or the EEOC, accusing Natalini of being discriminatory. Now, commissioners have decided to keep these investigations separate.
We want the community to know that certainly we take the allegations of our employees seriously, and it's something that we can't ignore. And if there's nothing there, that's great. And if there is, then we want to know what corrective action we can take.
Now, that EEOC complaint is sealed, so it's not clear whether it's a current or a past employee of Natalini's that's making those allegations.
Still ahead on Good Morning Suncoast.
We'll take a look at just how much flooding there still is in the Carolinas, showing no signs of letting up. We'll have that when we come back. But first,
it is 6:06 right now on this Tuesday morning. Pretty shot there of the downtown skyline. As far as the forecast goes for today, here he is, folks, back from a vacation, tanned, rested, and ready.
Oh, my goodness. But I didn't spend much time at the beach, unfortunately. There was a lot of issues over the weekend, obviously. The latest Mote Marine spotter reports indicate several locations with intense amounts of iridescence in the air because of the red tide. Of course, these numbers and values will be updated as we head into 10, 11 o'clock this morning. We'll have them for you on the noon show. Forecast calls for a temperature of about 87, 88 degrees at the beach with a UV index of a 10. Complete forecast in a minute.
The ABC7 First Alert weather app just got even better. It's easy to use once you download it. First, tell the app to follow you, so you get alerts pinpointed to exactly where you are. Then customize your settings with all the places you go, from the beach to grandmother's house. Get accurate alerts for everyone you care about. You can even pick which weather alerts and categories you want and what they sound like. More ways to customize and more ways to keep your family safe. Download the ABC7 First Alert weather app today.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
Gettle's got what you're looking for at Gettle.com. 17 new car brands, over 1,000 used vehicles, prices and payments you can afford. Credit help if you need it, and they pay cash for your old car. Plus, Gettle Pre-Owned Certified Plus means buying with peace of mind. Need service? Gettle's got that too. Gettle's got it. Visit Gettle.com.
Need more space in your place? The More Space Place can help with Murphy beds that disappear to reveal a home office, living room, or den. Custom closets with designated areas for your shoes, bags, wardrobe, and accessories. Custom-built entertainment centers, garage storage systems, and more. The More Space Place has 3 showrooms next to Sonny's on US 41 South in Sarasota, on Lakewood Ranch Boulevard just south of State Route 64 in Bradenton, and on Tamiami Trail next to Panera Bread in Port Charlotte. Put more space in your place at the More Space Place.
Get more for your money at Sunset Subaru in Sarasota. Subaru vehicles hold their value better than any other brand for 2018, according to ALG. And Subaru is Kelley Blue Book's most trusted brand for 4 years running. The Subaru Outback is an IIHS top safety pick for 10 years running. Lease a new Subaru Outback today for just $249 a month, or get 0% financing with 0 down. Get more for your money. Go to Sunset Subaru in Sarasota.
Planning a Carnival Fantasy Cruise out of Mobile? Then check out the park and cruise packages at the luxurious Battle House and Renaissance Riverview Plaza hotels. Stay at the Battle House for $169 per night, or the Riverview Plaza for just $149 per night, and leave your car for the duration of your cruise. Includes transportation to and from the cruise terminal. If you're cruising out of Mobile, come stay with us. Call 1-800-MARRIOTT or visit Marriott.com now.
Look at this aerial footage of Topsail Beach, North Carolina. You can see the damage Hurricane Florence left behind. This morning, rescue teams still working day in and day out along the Carolina coast as flooding is far from over.
Now your ABC 7 First Alert weather forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
Yeah, and even though Florence is not a tropical system, it is still creating flooding potential from Maryland down through West Virginia as it moves out toward the Atlantic coastline. So it's an amazing storm with quite a history. 78-degree air temperature, dew point value coming in at 76. We have a humidity value now at 93. It's sticky outside. Already a heat index in the 80s. We'll see a heat index later today that'll be close to the century mark. Pretty quiet start to the day in terms of weather, not much going on. We'll see a mix of sun and clouds as we head through the morning and into the afternoon. And then afternoon time, maybe a shower or two, but really less than average rain chances. And consequently, we're going to see some daytime high temperatures that'll probably run slightly above average. 91 we'll go with by about 3 p.m. as showers build inland and gradually drift back to the coast. Radar right now quiet. We do have a couple of showers out in Gulf waters, and maybe a pop or two of lightning will be visible from the immediate coastline, but other than that, it should be a tame start to the day. Big ridge of high pressure building in over the Panhandle and the Florida Peninsula helps to bring us a very light easterly wind flow today. That southeasterly or easterly wind will collide with our sea breeze front in inland areas initially, and then those showers that build along that collision zone of the two winds start to drift back toward the coastline thanks to that general easterly flow across the state, at least southern part of the state. Northern part of the state probably will get even less rainfall. We'll watch that high pressure ridge kind of stay with us for the next several days, reducing our rain chances just a little bit, and that easterly wind kind of prevailing. We'll call it a light southeast wind for the next several days. Warm afternoons each and every afternoon, and then late day scattered showers building inland, drifting to the coast. Here's the futurecast, shows you exactly what we're talking about. By about 3 o'clock, the showers start to build in inland locations east of the interstate and then drift back to the coastline as we head into the sunset time frame, I'd say. Probably a little bit later in the day than we normally might be used to with our afternoon showers, because our sea breeze is going to move a good distance inland today under that light general southeasterly wind. And then overnight, I think pretty quiet conditions, should be not too bad. So the tropics are still looking pretty quiet right now after what was an eventful week, obviously. We continue to monitor Isaac, though there's not much of a chance here of any kind of development. I think we're done with Isaac, but we'll continue to watch it. There's also a cluster of clouds south of Hispaniola we'll continue to watch, but again, no issues here either. Nothing in the Caribbean, the Gulf waters or the near Atlantic that the Hurricane Center is watching for the next 5 days. So that's great news. We also have, of course, George way out in the Atlantic continuing to move further away. We have Florence continuing to move closer to the Atlantic, a post-tropical system now, meaning that it has more characteristics of a mid-latitude cyclone than it does any kind of a tropical system. So all in all, we're looking at pretty quiet conditions. Southeast wind switches to the west in the afternoon, coming in at about 10 knots, turning more northerly during the overnight, and then back to the east by tomorrow morning. Light chop on your bay and inland water with 2-foot seas. Beautiful day for boating. Forecast over the next 5 days, 7 days rather, looks like this. For today, a 30% chance of showers, maybe tomorrow, a slightly lesser rain chance. Daytime highs both days, warm, coming in the low 90s. And for the next several days, I think we'll carry the trend along. Maybe by the end of the week, we'll start to raise the rain chance just a little bit. On the first day of fall, believe it or not, how time flies, right? But it'll feel like anything but fall around here with daytime high temperatures continuing in the low 90s. We usually start dipping down in our temperatures next month. So not too far away. You guys?
All right, thank you so much, John. Let's take a look outside and check on your first alert traffic out there this morning. Most of that traffic that we were watching in Manatee has really cleared up. There were some slow spots right there at 301 and State Road 70. Those are just a couple delays now, but not nearly as much as it was. Heading into Sarasota County, the top half of that area, not looking too bad. A couple little slowdowns right there at Fruitville and 301, but other than that, it's pretty smooth. And then if your commute is going to take you towards Port Charlotte on 75 or 41 within the next half hour or so, those roads are looking pretty decent at this hour. It's your first alert traffic. And now to the storm zone where Florence has ravaged the Carolinas.
ABC's Emily Rao has a look at the devastation from hard-hit Wilmington, North Carolina.
Another deadly day in the path of what was Hurricane Florence. The storm spawning tornadoes as it moves inland, killing a person near Richmond, Virginia after a building collapsed. Water rescue still happening. In Kelly, North Carolina, crews helping this pregnant woman and her 4-year-old through neck-high water.
This mama has suffered tragically.
Outside of Charlotte, help did not come in time for Caden Lee Welch. Floodwaters pinning his mother's car against trees. She freed him from the car seat, but then lost her grip.
I know I was hydroplaning. I was trying to do everything I could. And it got worse when, water just get into your car. You start to panic, you start to freak. You think you're sinking fast. Everything just happened too fast.
So many roads and highways submerged. This drone video showing just how bad it is. Interstate 40 now unrecognizable. And rivers spilling over their banks. These train tracks expected to be covered soon as the water creeps higher.
That river's rising fast, real fast.
We've been here for a few hours now, and we're just steady watching the water rise.
4 foot in the last couple hours.
The Cape Fear River here behind me in Wilmington is expected to crest later this morning, and officials are reminding people to pick a side of the river before that happens because they may be stuck there until the bridges reopen. Emily Rao, ABC News, Wilmington, North Carolina.
Now across the country, a major fire in Utah has forced 6,000 people to evacuate. Look at the aerials. The blaze has already scorched more than 70,000 acres, making it the largest fire in Utah this year. As of last night, just 23% was contained. Still ahead on Good Morning Suncoast.
So just who is it that gets to be the first space tourist and fly around the moon? Well, they have SpaceX has released the lucky winner. We're going to have his story for you when we come back.
6:17 right now. A peek outside our studios at a beautiful downtown skyline. You're watching Good Morning Suncoast on ABC 7.
Ready to open up new opportunities as an electrician? Don't do it yourself. Team up with Mr. Sparky instead. We're locally owned and looking for people like you. We offer our electricians great perks that you just won't get going it alone. And whether you're an apprentice, a master electrician, or somewhere in between, we have a spot for you.
Best decision I ever made.
Apply online or call today.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Clogged pores are disgusting. Introducing DermaSuction, the easy way to suck that yuck out of your pores. DermaSuction removes blackheads and dirt from your pores. Just look at everything it extracts. The secret's the gentle vacuum action. Watch as DermaSuction extracts so much yuck, leaving your skin feeling clean and youthful.
The gunk that had been pulled out, I was pretty horrified, but better in the DermaSuction than on my face.
It's almost addictive because you can see all this stuff coming out of your skin that you don't even really know is there.
Call now to order your DermaSuction for just $19.99. We'll also include our small and large body probes, the Sonic Microdermabrasion probe, and the handy travel case, all absolutely free. Order now and you can double the offer. Just pay a separate fee. You can get all this, but you have to order now.
Call 1-800-213-9301. That's 1-800-213-9301. Or visit dermasuction.com. So call 1-800-213-9301 now.
You are like no other. So why should your choices be ordinary? Ghibli, the absolute opposite of ordinary.
Experience it at Sunset Maserati, Alfa Romeo of Sarasota.
Ever since I can remember, I've been intrigued by industrial design and the optimization.
Wait, that's passion? Ever since I can remember, my passion has been industrial design. We need 3D printers for Miss Adams' engineering program so that we are ready to solve 21st century challenges.
Impressive. Think It Up is a new initiative to support student-powered, teacher-led learning projects. Students and teachers, how can you spark great learning experiences in your classroom today? Think It Up.
Thank you.
You got a king?
Go fish!
It only takes a moment to make a moment. Take time to be a dad today.
ABC 7, the Suncoast's official Florida lottery station.
It is 6:21 right now on Tuesday morning. Another beautiful skyline shot. That is not the downtown Sarasota skyline. That is New York City, a beautiful shot. 76 degrees there. Seasons are changing. They'll only see a high there of 79 now. So as summer transitions to fall, he tried to say. 6:21 right now on your Tuesday morning.
Well, history was made at last night's Emmy Awards. HBO and Netflix tied with the most Emmy Awards last night, each one taking home 23. Now the big winners, Game of Thrones, John and Ray, and The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. ABC's George Panacio has a scoop on all the big winners from last night's show.
Game of Thrones!
The fantasy drama Game of Thrones reclaimed its crown as the top drama on TV for 2018. This is the show's third win in the category. It won one acting honor for supporting actor Peter Dinklage. It's his third win as well. Drama acting honors also went to Matthew Rhys, Claire Foy, and Tandy Newton. In the comedy category, The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel won top honors, along with the show's star.
There's so much good TV out there, and it's so incredible to know that we've made something that people love as much as we do.
Mrs. Maisel's creator, Amy Sherman Palladino, won 2 Emmys for both writing and directing, the first woman to do so in Emmy history. Bill Hader was tops in the comedy category for HBO's Barry. His co-star Henry Winkler brought this house down with the very first Emmy win of his long career.
I was 27 when I started doing the Fonz. I'm now 72, and I'm standing right here in front of you with her. Wow.
The ceremony's most memorable moment came when Glenn Weiss, who won the Emmy for directing the Oscars, surprised his longtime girlfriend with an on-stage proposal.
It became a thought, and the thought picked up steam as we got here. This was coming. It just, the timing just lined up very nicely, and it was a really magical moment.
The Emmys is a great way to say goodbye to the television season of the past as we say hello to the new season. with mini shows kicking off next week. In Los Angeles, George Pinocchio for ABC News.
I love that the director of the Oscars got engaged at the Emmys.
And they didn't play him off the stage.
And they didn't play him out. That would be terrible.
That's respect.
All
That's
right, well, speaking of playing or singing, do you want to sing Fly Me to the Moon here?
Fly me to the moon.
Okay, well, SpaceX has finally revealed the identity of the first ever space tourist.
You asked for it.
I did.
ABC's David Curley has the story.
In this morning's GMA First Look, the man who sent his Tesla Roadster toward Mars now has a paying customer who wants to take a lunar trip.
I choose to go to the moon.
Billionaire Japanese clothing line magnate Yasuka Mizawa actually is buying an entire mission, not just for himself. He wants to take 6 to 8 artists with him on his dime. But not just you. You want to take artists.
Yeah.
Why?
I love art. And I want artists to see the moon very up close.
Musk's efforts have not been without failure. Missed landings, a rocket that blew up heading to space. And we'll have the latest on how much this new rocket may cost coming up at 7 a.m. With your GMA First Look, I'm David Curley, ABC News, Los Angeles.
That's a mini wheat. Delicious. But it's more than that. 10 layers of crunchy wheat to fill you up on big days. Whether your day involves steam, mountains, or fire, we've got your breakfast right here. Is your breakfast built for big days?
Get your groove on with 1-A-Day 50 Plus.
Get ready for the wildlife.
Complete multivitamins with key nutrients that address 6 concerns of aging, including heart health, supported by B vitamins. Your 1-A-Day is showing.
How do you top mac and cheese? Start with 100% clean ingredients, like Vermont white cheddar. Then add bacon, barbecue chicken, or Baja blend. Catering and delivery now available. Panera, food as it should be.
See a little blood when you brush or floss? You may have gum disease and could be on a journey to much worse. Try Parodontax toothpaste. It's 3 times more effective at removing plaque, the main cause of bleeding gums. Leave bleeding gums behind with Parodontax toothpaste.
Hello, Mom.
Amanda's mom's appointment just got rescheduled for today. Amanda needs right at home. Our customized care plan provides as much or as little help as her mom requires, whether it's a ride to the doctor or help around the house.
Oh, of course. Tom, I am really sorry. I've got to go.
Look, call right at home. Get the right care right at home.
Conquer your next adventure. Get a new Jeep at a great price during Jeep Adventure Days at Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram Fiat in Sarasota. Shop the area's largest selection of new Jeep Wranglers, or get the most awarded SUV of all time, a new Jeep Cherokee, for as little as $19,999. Find the path to your next great adventure in the all-new Jeep Compass for just $17,999. Better prices, bigger selection. Go to Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram Fiat in Sarasota today.
This is your brain. This is drugs. This is your brain on drugs. Any questions?
Yeah, I have questions.
Prescription drugs aren't as bad as street drugs, right?
Weed's legal, isn't it?
Drinking is worse than smoking weed.
Isn't it? Why
is heroin so addictive?
Molly just makes you feel happy.
I have questions.
Mom?
Dad, did you ever try drugs?
They're going to ask. Be ready. Go to drugfree.org. A message from Partnership for Drug-Free Kids.
It's rainy season on the Suncoast. Storms can pop up at a moment's notice. Sometimes it's just rain. Sometimes it's much worse. When there's the potential for severe weather, you need to know fast. Trust ABC 7 First Alert Weather to get you the information you need right away. We focus on the storms that impact where you live, and we're committed to alerting you with important information as soon as we get it. When severe weather strikes, trust ABC 7 First Alert Weather. We're here for you. You now have the power to prioritize your Facebook feed and get local news and information from the team you trust. Go to the ABC 7 Sarasota page on Facebook. Give us a like, then click following and choose See First. That's it. Customize even more by choosing notifications. Choose breaking news, posts, live videos, anything you want to see in real time. Take control of your newsfeed and stay connected to what's happening in your community. with ABC7 on Facebook.
40 Carats Family Center and the Community Foundation of Sarasota County present a free speaker event, Unselfie. Why empathetic kids succeed in our all about me world, featuring parenting educator and author Michelle Borba at Riverview High School on Tuesday, September 25th at 7 p.m. Help children become successful, moral, courageous, and resilient. RSVP required at 40carats.org. That's FORTY carats.org.
Watch Suncoast View weekdays at 9 a.m. on ABC7. You're watching Good Morning Suncoast at 6:30.
Help from the Suncoast is headed 700 miles to the Carolinas in the aftermath of Hurricane Florence. We'll tell you how you can also get involved in the mission.
And you now have access to seeing 200 traffic cameras around the Suncoast. We'll take a closer look this half hour.
And more affordable housing could be headed to the area. We'll tell you why. We have those stories plus your Tuesday forecast. Good Morning Suncoast continues right now. And welcome back. It is 6:29 on this Tuesday morning. I'm Stephanie Webb.
And I'm Ray Collins. After 2 days off, John Scalzi is back, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. Got here
And
early.
with a new haircut.
Early to work today.
I tell you what, I got a complete makeover, it sounds like. A couple of showers out.
Sleep.
What's that?
It's called sleep.
Sleep helps. Sleep helps a lot. A couple of showers out in the Gulf waters, though. Nothing over land. Morning commute looks A-OK. Should have no issues till your return trip home. Then there's a slight chance of a shower or two, although the rain chances today kind of a little bit less than usual. So our daytime high temperatures will be a little bit more warmer than usual as well. Mix of sun and clouds to start off the morning. We'll go with about a 30% chance of rain as you head home this afternoon after a daytime high in the low 90s. Back to you.
All right, thank you, John. 6:30 right now. Here's a peek outside at I-75 at University Parkway, the diverging Diamond area right there. Plenty of cars already getting on the road from the Lakewood Ranch direction. Busy out there right now. We're kind of in a booth in here in the studio. Life is beginning out there.
And life is just quiet in here in the studio.
It is very quiet in here. Let's go to the maps right now. Here's how it looks in Manatee County. According to our maps, we'll see a little bit of a slowdown there at 70 as you approach 301 westbound. Otherwise, not too bad so far. Let's check farther south now. Here's the northern half of Sarasota County. Nothing so far in the red, so let's move on now to the lower half of Sarasota County. And that looks so far so good as of 6:31.
Well, most here in the state know firsthand just how hard hurricanes can really hit and impact a community. So many are paying it forward to help victims of Florence. The local branch of the American Patriots 3% group plans to begin their trip to the Carolinas next week to deliver toiletries, canned goods, even cleaning supplies. Local volunteers will start that 700-mile trek to North Carolina next Monday to drop off all the supplies to areas in need.
These are our neighbors, they're Americans, they're our friends, they're our family.
As Floridians, I think we really understand what they're going through.
Now, if you'd like to help, there are some drop-off locations throughout the Suncoast. Donations can be dropped off at Crunch Fitness on Bee Ridge in Sarasota, Buccaneer Pawn Shop in Bradenton, and Lou's Venue and Banquet Hall in Arcadia. Well, we now have an update today on a story that was big here 3 years ago when a Pinellas County father threw his 5-year-old daughter off a bridge near the Sunshine Skyway in front of a St. Pete police officer.
Deputies later arrested John Johnchuk as he drove into Manatee County. Our Marla Spence has an update on the case where jury selection has now been postponed. Marla?
Well, guys, during a pre-trial hearing yesterday, the decision was made to postpone the start of the trial. His defense team filed a last-minute motion asking the judge to exclude the testimony of one of the state's expert witnesses. The big question in this case is Johnchuk's mental state at the time his daughter fell to her death. An expert witness and doctor for the state is expected to testify that she believes he was sane at the time of the incident. The defense wants to call another doctor to rebuke that testimony, but prosecutors said they don't have enough time to prepare for that new doctor. As a result, the trial was postponed. If convicted, Johnchuk could face life in prison. A hearing will be held on Monday to discuss when the trial should be held. Back to you guys.
Okay, thank you, Marla. New this morning now, a group of Manatee County students are back home today after taking third place in a world STEM competition in Singapore. The team was led by a technology education teacher from Palmetto High School and features students from Braden River, Palmetto, and Southeast High Schools. The district has had more top finishes in the state, national, and world level than any other district in the country, they say. So congratulations to the entire Perspective Racing team. That's amazing.
Yes, well done. Well, politics collided with red tide during Governor Rick Scott's visit to Venice to do some campaigning, where he came face to face with protesters who say he isn't doing enough to fix the algae problem. Yesterday, the governor made his second stop on his campaign for U.S. Senate at a Cuban restaurant in Venice. Protesters were chanting and holding up signs with all kinds of different sayings about red tide in Florida. These Suncoast residents say that the governor is to blame for this year's conditions because he failed to place regulations on pollution.
You know, this is our paradise. I don't know where he's living up, wherever. You know, it's just, we need answers and we need someone to help us.
Now, those protest chants from outside caused Governor Scott to cut short his appearance before leaving the restaurant through the back door.
The city of Sarasota has changed an ordinance in an effort to get more affordable housing. Last night, commissioners voted to allow developers to reapply for site plan approval without paying additional fees. Now, this comes after a developer known for building affordable housing called it quits earlier this year. Harvey Vengroff claimed the city made it too difficult to build affordable housing. The complex he wants to build is off Fruitville Road. It would have 400 apartments with rents starting at $700 a month.
There's just no apartments available for people. I don't have any. You know, I've got 2,000 apartments and I don't have any empties. I mean, that's ridiculous. I mean, business shouldn't be that good. State of Washington.
Vengroff says he has more luck in other cities besides Sarasota, so this new ordinance would save him about $30,000 in the application fee.
In this hour's Health Smart, we're talking about the dangers of infant walkers. A study in the Journal of Pediatrics found that between 1990 and 2014, more than 230,000 kids under the age of 15 months were treated for injuries linked to those walkers that you're seeing right here. It's an average of more than 9,000 injuries a year. Now, more than 90% of the incidents involved head or some neck injuries, while 74% of those were injured while falling down the stairs. Now, those researchers are calling to have those walkers pulled completely off the market.
Whether it's paying your portion of the phone bill or splitting the dinner bill, chances are you've used a payment app like Venmo or Zelle. But which ones are the best ones to use? Reporter Kim Hutcherson breaks it down.
Your smartphone is replacing your wallet. Mobile payment apps like Venmo, Zelle, and the Cash App are quickly replacing cash when it comes to paying friends and family. All three allow you to link up your bank account, type in a dollar amount, and send the money fast. The biggest difference is that Venmo is the only one that lets you get social. You can post about your transactions and interact with others. Zelle is setting itself apart by going after older users. The service is already built into many mobile banking apps like Wells Fargo and Bank of America. Zelle also puts that cash into your recipient's bank account instantly. On the Venmo app, instant payments cost 25 cents, and you must have a Visa or MasterCard. Instant deposits on the Cash App will cost you 1.5% of the total amount you're trying to send. Consumer Reports recently rated all three apps secure to use. They recommend you follow these 3 tips for the best experience and to reduce your risk. Number 1, opt in to extra security. Take those extra seconds and set up protections like a PIN and features that require a special code to confirm payments. Number 2, keep your app up to date. If you have the old version, you're missing the latest security protections. And number 3, it may sound obvious, but only send money to people you know. For Consumer Watch, I'm Kim Hutcherson.
Well, before you hit the road this morning, navigating your Suncoast commute just became a whole lot easier. A new website lets you watch traffic in real time. Ray's so excited. By going online before you head out the door, the new site shows video footage of main roads and intersections from Parrish all the way down to Northport. Along with watching in real time, the site will also show tweets about certain road conditions as well as giving you accident updates as well.
If you want to see perhaps maybe an incident has changed, for example, there was an accident this morning on the Skyway, so there was real-time information about when that was cleared up and it was reopened.
All right, you want to give it a try? Well, you can find a link to it on our website at mysuncoast.com. And Ray, how much time did you lose on this app again over the weekend?
Half an hour so far.
Would that be per hour or?
It's fun to watch.
It is.
Yeah.
All right, it's 6:38. Still to come on Good Morning Suncoast.
New tariffs imposed on Chinese goods, now up to $200 billion. How is this impacting consumers? That story when we come back. 6:38 right now. Here's a shot. A beautiful sunrise in progress here on the Suncoast.
Yes, not a bad day so far. Let's touch base with John Scalzi in just a moment. But first, let's take a look out on our traffic cam right there on 75 and University Parkway, one of our hot spots of traffic that we've been telling you about. Traffic starting to pick up. We'll have another traffic update for you in about 10 minutes or so. But first, John Scalzi.
Yeah, no weather worries as far as weather goes on your morning commute, that's for sure. None of the boxes checked this morning, though rain may have some isolated thunderstorms around late in the day. But I tell you, I don't think it'll be a big problem for the morning commute. We'll call it for about a 30% chance of rainfall today. If you're traveling, all airport hubs serving the Sarasota International running on time according to the FAA. Complete forecast in a minute.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
Picking out a new ceiling fan? That's a do-it-yourself. Installing your new ceiling fan?
No.
That's a don't do it yourself. For ceiling fans, rewires, or anything electrical, play it safe. And call on the trained electricians from your locally owned Mr. Sparky. It's no accident that so many of our customers are repeat customers. Trust Mr. Sparky for all your electrical repairs.
Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Today, everyone is looking for carpeting that lasts longer. G. Fried has you covered with Karastan. With a legacy of quality and integrity, we provide you with a huge selection of Karastan carpets with exclusive lifetime limited warranties. All installed by our highly skilled, highly knowledgeable team. Come ask us why Karastan is the best and most durable. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
If you don't want to fall immediately into love, look away. If you don't want to awaken a desire for excellence, look away. If you don't want to be seduced, please look away.
Rediscover your passion for driving at Sunset Maserati Alfa Romeo of Sarasota.
My name is Haley. I have Fragile X syndrome. I work with Chartwells at Einstein's and FAU. I like being up front and interacting with students. The students are very nice and very hungry. Having a job is a big ticket for independence.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to disabilitieswork.employflorida.com.
We believe in patriotism. We believe in our country. For 100 years, veterans have been impacting our nation through the American Legion. Learn more at legion.org/webelieve.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
Now your ABC 7 First Alert Weather Forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
So we're looking at current air temperature of 78 degrees with a dew point value of 76. We have a 93% relative humidity and a heat index coming in at 81. That heat index will be soaring up to about 100 later on this afternoon because the dew point value is going to remain high, and we're just not going to get a lot of cooling showers around today. As we move through the morning hours into the afternoon, I think we'll be pretty much rain-free most everywhere. As we head into the second half of the afternoon, showers will start to form in inland areas, and then they'll gradually drift back to the coast, riding on this easterly wind, this light easterly wind, as our sea breeze kind of collapses. Got a few showers out in Gulf waters, even a thunderstorm or two out there. Again, those are not going to drift our way. Those stay out in the Gulf till they just basically die out there. We have quiet conditions for your morning commute on all arteries, north and south, east and west, everything looks fine. As we head into the afternoon, I think that easterly wind will become fairly established. It'll be, generally speaking, out of the southeast. And I think it'll be light enough that a sea breeze will build and move a good distance inland. So our showers and thunderstorms will probably start kind of blossoming as you head into Hardee and DeSoto. And then those showers will gradually drift closer to the coastline, giving everybody a shot at the rainfall, but the shot is not a great one, only at about 30%. The high pressure ridge will continue providing us with this east or southeast wind, I think, for the next several days. And because it's light, there may be some random motion in some of those showers that develop inland, and there could be some slower moving storms. So if you happen to be under one of them, you could get a fair amount of rain. That happened yesterday. Al in Northport got a half an inch of rainfall under one of the storms that developed. It moved very slowly. So a light southeast wind develops today. We'll have warm afternoons and then these late scattered showers riding on the easterly wind. Speaking of the easterly wind, we've got some spotter reports from Moat Marine from some of the red tide status beaches that are monitored, some of the beaches that are monitored, giving status reports of intense amounts of irritants in the air at some locations. In other locations, moderate amounts, only a few low amounts. That wind will again be shifting west this afternoon close to the coast with a sea breeze. And all of these values will be updated for our noon show as the Moat Marine spotters start filing their reports at around 10 or 11 o'clock this morning. Futurecast shows those showers building in inland areas, and then with a slow drift to the coastline, we'll give everyone about a 30% chance of the storms. You notice there's just not many of them around, and then as we head into the evening hours, everything kind of fades away and we're left with a pretty quiet overnight. Tropics look good, I'm glad to tell you. We're not seeing much here that gives much concern. We have what's left over of Isaac. That is continuing to fall apart. Hurricane Center gives that a 0 chance of development. That'll give you a clue of what they're expecting there. Florence, now a post-tropical system, still producing a fair amount of rainfall, but moving quickly out into the Atlantic, poses no threat really to anyone in the next couple of days. Today it's still a rain hazard in parts of the Northeast. And then again, we have Joyce continuing to lift away, not posing a threat to anyone really. A southeast wind switches to the west in the afternoon, close to the coast at about 10 knots. Nice day for boating. Wind shifting back to the east later tonight, 2-foot seas with a light chop. Nice day to be out on the water. Break the heat just a little bit, I think, out there. Otherwise, we're looking at temperatures that will be pretty close to the low 90s. And inland areas probably closer to the mid 90s. Feels like temperatures close to 100. Over the course of the next several days, a 20 to 30% rain chance should do it. By the time we get to the weekend, we'll probably up the rain chance a little bit. That probably will occur on Sunday. And by the way, first day of fall occurs on Sunday, although temperatures will still remain in the 90s for probably the rest of this month. Back to you.
Thanks so much, John. Let's take a look outside and check your first alert traffic. Starting off in Manatee County, those roads are looking pretty decent out there so far. We were watching some slowdowns at 301 and State Road 70, but most of those have cleared up. A little congestion as you're coming over the bridges. In the first half of Sarasota County, those roads are not looking too bad. Fruitville, a little slow right there around Cardinal Mooney High School. But other than that, those roads are looking pretty decent there too. And one more map, 7541. Those roads are also looking pretty clear. 646, that is your first alert traffic. Well, you might have some trouble getting a Big Mac and fries today because workers at McDonald's all across the country are planning to strike, sending a message that sexual harassment must end within the company. Employees in 10 cities will be participating, including Chicago, Miami, LA, New Orleans, and San Francisco. The strike is aimed at bringing back awareness to the idea that the fast food company isn't doing enough to prevent harassment at their local restaurants.
An update now on the trade tariffs imposed on Chinese products coming in this country. The U.S. plans to place a 10% tariff on $200 billion worth of goods from China. And that percentage is expected to rise to 25% before the end of the year. These tariffs are in addition to the penalties the White House imposed on $50 billion of other Chinese products. President Trump commented last night saying he urges Chinese officials to, quote, take swift action to end their country's unfair trade practices.
Happening now, search and rescue efforts are underway in the Philippines for anyone who may have survived that huge landslide triggered by a super typhoon Mangkhut. At least a dozen victims' bodies have been recovered so far. That storm hit the Philippines hard on Saturday, killing at least 63, and that number is actually expected to increase.
An update now on the church priest child abuse scandal in Pennsylvania. A town hall was held in Johnstown to inform the public on proposed reforms to the statute of limitations. Representatives and advocates for victims were in attendance to hear how the proposed legislation to prevent non-disclosure agreements from stopping victims of child sexual abuse from sharing the facts of their abuse. A resolution calling for the U.S. Attorney General to launch a nationwide investigation of the church was also discussed. 6:48 right now. Still ahead, your day's top 7 news headlines.
And that, of course, includes one last look at your Tuesday forecast and first alert traffic as we get you ready for the day.
Here's a peek outside our studios now. A beautiful sunrise in progress. It is 6:49. Your top 7 coming up on Good Morning Suncoast.
Gettle's got what you're looking for at Gettle.com. 17 new car brands, over 1,000 used vehicles, prices and payments you can afford. Credit help if you need it, and they pay cash for your old car. Plus, Gettle Pre-Owned Certified Plus means buying with peace of mind. Need service? Gettle's got that too. Gettle's got it. Visit Gettle.com.
Soldiers in the Army National Guard live up to a set of time-honored principles.
I will always place the mission first.
They stand ready to respond to any crisis.
I will never accept defeat.
They serve in their communities as citizens and as soldiers.
I will never quit.
They train part-time to be ready to serve at all times.
I will never leave a fallen comrade.
Learn more at NationalGuard.com.
We answered the call of duty and left our homes to serve in far-off lands. Now, we answer another call, this time at home, in our own communities, to respond in times of chaos. To use our strength, our skills, and our experiences to bring hope amid devastation and destruction. Together, as a team of brothers and sisters, we're continuing our mission to make this country a little stronger and a little better each day. We are Team Rubicon.
Meet Blue. Blue's not feeling well. The prescription? Generic medication. Blue wonders, do they really work as well as name brands? Yes, generics and name brand medications do work the same. Even though they may look different, generics have the same key ingredients. FDA approval is equally rigorous for generics to make sure they're as safe and effective as name brands. And Blue even saves some green, making him a little less, well, blue. Talk to your doctor about generics and visit fda.gov/generic drugs.
We just finished dinner and it was time for homework.
He hates homework.
It makes no sense.
I don't know how he finds anything in his
I
backpack.
can't find my backpack.
I couldn't even read his handwriting.
Holding the pencil makes my hand hurt.
I know he's bright.
Why is it so hard for me?
He's
I'm
just
trying
gotta
as
try a
hard
little
as
harder.
I can.
When you can see learning and attention issues from their side, you can be on their side. Go to understood.org, a free online resource with support and tools to help your child thrive.
Find out first at 4 with ABC 7 News at 4. First alert weather, breaking news, live updates, traffic hotspots, all at a new, more convenient time. Find out first at 4, weekdays on ABC 7.
We upload all of Stephanie's bloopers every morning.
There's a long list sometimes.
Also some singing today as well broke out.
Yes, yep, little singing, some bloopers. You can find it all on our Facebook pages, Twitter, you name it. You can find it all there.
Yeah, stop by, like the page, say hello. We'll always write back to you.
That is right. Coming up this morning on Good Morning America, got an ABC News exclusive. Apple CEO Tim Cook is going to be live there in the GMA studios. They had that huge new launch of all the new iPhones, the Apple Watch that's probably going to save your life someday, all this new stuff. So he'll be there in studio talking about all of that today.
We always talk about Apple, but I still think that Samsungs have better cameras.
You know, I'm going to say that you do have very good cameras, but you never know with these new ones.
Well, you'll see how that goes.
Back and forth, back and forth. It is 6:52, and here's your top 7 before 7.
First off, John Scalzi's first alert weather forecast.
So we're starting the day off pretty nice, actually. Grab your sunglasses and the First Alert Weather app because I think you'll probably need it as you head out the door. Later on this afternoon, there'll be some scattered showers around, but there won't be widespread, so you'll want to see where they are. And there could be some random motion associated with some of these storms, so it's not always completely obvious that they head from inland areas to the coastline. Some might move a little bit north and south as well. Dry and sunny start to the day. Should be a beautiful dawn rising, and then we'll look for those afternoon storms that build inland and generally move to the coast. But like I say, there could be some random motion depending on the outflow from some of these storms because the winds will be fairly light today. First Alert weather app is available. Plus, we're always on social media and mysuncoast.com. Back to you guys.
All right, number 2 now checking First Alert traffic. Let's find out how it looks there. You'll see 301 southbound as you cross over State Road 70. Some congestion there already, otherwise pretty clear in Manatee County. Checking farther south, here's the scene on Clark Road, eastbound. After you get past where Stickney Point turns into Clark after Swift Road, some congestion approaching Lockwood Ridge and Beneva. And then our final map for the south will indicate some red there on 41 as you head northbound from War Mineral Springs and head into the South Venice area.
Number 3, the trial has been postponed for John Johnchuk. That's the Pinellas County man accused of throwing his 5-year-old daughter off a bridge near the Sunshine Skyway back in January of 2015. Now at issue, a motion involving his sanity at the time when it all happened.
Now to number 4, 1 week after her husband stepped down in disgrace as the head of CBS, Julie Chen says she'll now leave the talk. She'll have one last appearance today in a pre-taped message to viewers. Her husband, Les Moonves, stepped down as chairman of CBS after several sexual misconduct allegations.
And number 5, navigating your commute just became a whole lot easier. A new website lets you watch traffic in real time. All you have to do is go online. You can see all the made roads and the intersections, all the way from Parrish down to Northport. You can head over to mysuncoast.com to find a link for the website.
All right, number 6, a group of Manatee County students are back home today after taking 3rd place in a world STEM competition in Singapore. The district had more top finishes in the state, national, and world level than any other district in the country.
And number 7, what's trending? My word, do people still really love Hello Kitty this much? Apparently, because there is now the first ever Hello Kitty restaurant in Irvine, California. You guys, this is a really big deal. Fans were waiting outside this place for hours before it even opened up yesterday. Serves coffee, tea, cakes, donuts, and cocktails at night. There's even a special VIP bow room that Ray can reserve for special date nights. This serves Hello Kitty Sparkling Rosé, Hello Kitty Pinot Grigio, Hello Kitty Prosecco. Well, you got the idea, folks.
Stephanie is excited
Hello
about this.
Kitty. I loved Hello Kitty back in the day. I didn't realize we were still this excited about it, but I might go there.
Are you excited, John?
Not
You
much.
gotta have daughters. Hello Kitty, ladies, have my back here.
Can you tell who chooses our final stories of the day?
Hello Kitty in a newscast.
Star Wars tomorrow. You watch. Have a great day, folks.